our dear viewers and welcome to new edition of Body and Soul. In today's edition we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is the body language. What is the body language? How can the body language affect us and affect our relation with our peers and friends? And to shed more light on the issue, we are delighted to have our dear guest, Ms. Dina, Helmy, the human development expert and life coach. Hello, Ms. Dina, and thank you for joining us. What's the body language and how the body language could be noticed when I'm sitting with you, that I can feel how your character is, I can feel if you are a tense person, how I can read your personality from your body language.
Okay, so to start off, body language, like any other language, is something that people kind of have in different cultures. So not all people have the same gestures or have the same body language, but it means that they are giving the same meaning. So are you okay? Okay. So for example, people think that the most important thing from a conversation is what you say. While I can tell you something in a certain body language, I can give you a completely different meaning. So for example, if I'm talking to you and I'm frowning or I'm rolling my eyes and saying the same thing that I'm saying, you're going to get a different message.
Yes.
So it's not all about what I say. It's
my facial expression, my
experience, my moves, my tone of voice, the attitude I give. So conversations, 35% is what I say, and the rest of the 65% are my tone of voice, my attitude, and my body language, my body gestures and movements. Throughout different cultures, there might be certain gestures that have different meanings. For example, here in Egypt, if I do like this,
slow down.
Wait, slow down. If I do this in Italy, like this, in Italy, it means amazing, beautiful.
Oh,
very, very nice. So just this movement has a different meaning in different cultures. There are universal body language gestures, which is, for example, smiling. Like smiling, it shows that you are delighted or that you are happy or something that's positive. There is also fear, where usually when you are scared of something, usually you have a facial expression where your eyebrows kind of go up, the eyes widen up. And actually we are like this as humans to kind of notice if something is dangerous. Your eyes widen up. So these are some of the things that are universal, and other body language gestures are not universal. It depends on the meanings that the person wants to give.
So what is the importance of being aware of the body language? Could that make my relation with my peers and my surrounding people more successful? For example, that I'm aware sometimes a person is known for his loud voice, for example. If I'm not aware that his voice is loud by nature, I might think that he is fighting with me. So how is it important that I'm aware of the body language?
Okay, so having that sensitivity or awareness of body language, it's a social skill. It's something that you can have as a skill, that you notice, that you are sensitive to other people. One of the most important things is you have eye contact with someone. You can actually notice their body language that they're giving, the messages that they're trying to give you. For example, if someone is tired, if you're talking to someone and you feel that they are tired or exhausted, then you can give them an allowance of or space of maybe they don't want to talk right now. Maybe I can give them some time to rest. So if you can notice these unspoken words, like they say, you can have better, of course, relationships like you were asking. So like giving an example of someone who's working with them, or like a husband and a wife. If I notice that my wife is tired at the moment or my husband is worried, if I notice these signals without them saying, and I go and talk to them and ask them, of course that's going to build a much better relationship or a much better bond between us. So these things are noticed. You kind of really need to be in the situation or be fully aware and fully engaged with the person to notice these gestures or body language. If you are not fully there and present with the people you're talking to or the person you're talking to, it's very different. It's very difficult to distinguish that the body gestures they're trying to give you.
As a human development expert and life coach, you start to read the personality of the person sitting in front of you because of his body language.
Of course, I can't completely read anyone from a...
Yeah, of course. Like, you have some here.
Like some of the gestures where they're universal, for example, if someone is crossing their hands completely,
not everything.
It gives a sign of being a bit defensive or worried or kind of contained, like they don't want to give too much information or they want to listen. So it's kind of like that. If someone's more alert, then they would have their body forward. They're more listening. So these are some of these hints to what's going on in their mind. Of course, I can't take that for granted as a life coach because, like I said, they might have a bit, maybe they're cold. They like this. So you can't take it like 100% guarantee this means that they are stressed.
But if you see them you can feel it.
Yes, of course. And the gesture I'm showing you, this is
they are stuck to this move, for example, or it's a main gesture for them, so you know that it means that.
Exactly. And also there are a lot of other gestures, like for example, always having the hand down. It's giving a very powerful, authoritative gesture.
While I'm talking.
If I'm talking, I'm using my hand like this. I'm giving you a very confident or more of an authoritative, controlling kind of gesture. There's also the palms that are open if I'm talking in this way. Given that, it means that I'm there, I'm not harmful at all, I'm not ready to listen. This is universal. These are gestures that there are many scientists who have had these studies on these gestures, and they've said that these are universal means.
Can you feel that the person in front of you is a nervous person if he moves around a lot, if he moves his hand or her hands while talking a lot? How do you read that?
No, this is not showing necessarily if this person is nervous or not.
Or stressed, for example, at that moment.
Like I said, some of the gestures are universal. Like you could notice that this person wants to give that kind of impression or message, but if you think that this person is feeling something specific or is nervous or because of the body gestures, then that's a belief that you have in your mind. It's not necessarily what they are. So I believe, Dina, for example, and you believe that if someone is talking with their hands and are loud,
enthusiastic,
if you believe maybe that it could be that they are nervous. For example, I can see if someone is moving nervous that they are enthusiastic. Someone did it in a different way. So not all body gestures or the body language that you see can be interpreted the same way. It all depends on the person who is interpreting. Because we all have images and things in our mind that we interpret based on.
To what extent the fact that I'm aware as a person of the body language could facilitate me dealing with my peers, my social circle?
Okay, like to enhance the relationship? There are, of course, some things that are basic, that I believe are conversation breakers or conversation makers. Like, for example, one of the main things are, like, if you're talking to someone of your peers or, like, a friend, like eye contact. Having eye contact with the person that you are talking with is very important, because if you don't keep that kind of eye contact, you almost lose the conversation. You lose the person in front of you. If they are speaking to you, then, or they're listening to you, they will not really concentrate. They're going to feel that you are disengaged. Another thing with the body language, if you want to use that kind of body language to enhance your social skills with your peers or your friends, could also be, like I told you, knowing what they're doing. So if someone's sitting like this, I can sit like her. I can give her a comfortable way of a gesture, like she can feel comfortable. I don't want to intimidate her. Maybe some people don't like to be too close if they're talking, physically close, or too far away, or too loud. You kind of know the person in front of you. Like if you have a certain colleague where she is very calm and she doesn't like to talk too much, then I wouldn't, if I want to use my body language with her to build a relationship, I wouldn't go and talk too much and be too loud and be too close. Maybe she needs subtle movements, subtle gestures, more calm talking. On the other side, if you have another person you're dealing with that they're kind of more enthusiastic or more loud, then maybe you can have that kind of body language with them to have a conversation and to build some kind of relationship. Also, there are certain body gestures that could give the person in front of them a feeling of I'm either engaged with what I'm listening to, I'm disgusted, I don't like it. So I can give an attitude, a too confident attitude, or maybe a way that someone's like, I'm being arrogant. Some of these gestures can really tick people off, that they can stop a conversation because of the gesture.
Indeed. And we are joined over the phone by Dr. Rabia Saeed, the professor of psychology, to know more about the importance of body language. Dr. Rabia.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Dr. Rabia, and thank you for joining us. Dr. Rabia, what is the importance of the body language, and how can I understand the person in front of me because of his body language?
Well, the body speaks before your mouth. So actually, your body reveals what your attitude is and how you feel before you start opening your mouth. So for example, when you meet a person and start greeting them, you can greet them very warmly, but your body is being distant from them, or is taking a pose, or you are shaking hands, keeping the distance, pushing the person away. You don't want to hug them, you don't want to get them closer. This is just a small example of how the body does not lie. As a dance movement therapist, which is my subspecialty in psychiatry, the body plays a great role in order to reveal what is really going on. What is going on even at the level of well-being. So it's not only about communication, it's also about how the person feels about her or himself. So when we are talking about the body is a mirror of what is going on inside and as a reaction to the outside. A lot of the couples, two people together, they do say a lot of things to each other. So when it comes to intimacy, to being body to body, things are completely different. Or the opposite. People can sometimes fight and have very strong arguments, but when it comes to physicality, a completely different play takes place. So the body is very strong, and we need to remember that before we learn the words and we spoke as we are speaking the language of today, the body was the main tool, the main media of communication. All the rituals that the early person communicated with nature to get the rain, to talk to the wind, in order to help the nature become even better. So the body language is actually the main and most potent, more than words. Words could lie, but the body does not lie.
Indeed, Dr. Rabia Saeed, the professor of psychology, thank you very much for your input, and back to our dear guest in the studio. The body